Today's episode of the Bill Simmons Podcast on the Ringer Podcast Network is brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor. Buy and sell tickets in 2 taps on your phone. Everything fully guaranteed. Football fans, $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase on NFL tickets. Use promo code BS NFL. Download the SeatGeek app or go right to SeatGeek.com. We're also brought to you by the Ringer NFL show that is heating up. If you love football, Clark and Mays twice a week, Tuesday and Friday. They preview the weekend on Fridays. Kevin Clark, Robert Mays from the Ringer. And then GM Street, Mike Lombardi and Tate Frazier, the producer of this podcast. They're putting them up Sunday nights. You can get the instant reactions. Tate was all giddy last night because Carolina won. So you can subscribe to that on the Ringer NFL show. And obviously subscribe to the podcast of the 2 fellas we have on the podcast today. Cousin Sal, against all odds. Special guest Joe House, House of Carbs, and Shaq House. He's got 2 pods. So anyway, Ringer Podcast Network, and finally, theringer.com. That's where my Friday column is up every week. Last week, I wrote about Trump and the NFL and Trump hijacking the NFL for 7 straight days. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about Week 5 NFL, but first, wanted to send thoughts and prayers to everybody in Las Vegas who was affected by last night's just unspeakable tragedy. It's weird to talk about something as insignificant as football today, but we're gonna plow through it. But man, that was rough last night. It was happening on late Pacific Coast time last night, and it was watching CNN and all these stations for 3 hours last night as things keep getting worse and worse, and the numbers kept climbing. It was just awful. So we're thinking about everybody there today. We're going to talk about football today. Try to take your mind off it for an hour. Joe House, Sal, coming up. Here we go. All right, Sal's here, House is here. I thought this would be a more jovial morning for us, but we'll pull through it.
Yeah.
I'm taking everything I was going to lose on the Monday night game and donating it to the Red Cross or something.
Of course.
They need a lot of blood over there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, seems a little weird.
House,
Yes.
you're gonna have the first 25 minutes with us, and then we're gonna guess the lines without you because you
Great.
have to go film House of Carbs stuff.
I do have a House of Carbs coming up.
Your team plays tonight. The Washington professional football team. They're getting 7 points against Kansas City. Mm-hmm. This feels like we've now flipped who the good teams are. Like I was doing the power poll, and are the top 5 teams right now? Would you say Chiefs, Packers, Rams, Lions, Broncos? Is that the top 5?
You didn't put your Patriots in there?
No, we've given up 128 points in 4 games.
I have a whole different thing about how this is the least impressive 3-1 crop that I've seen in a while. Like who's a proven 3-1?
So is nobody good? There's no contenders?
I'm sticking with nobody's good for now. I think
if the Chiefs wax the Skins tonight, then maybe they're the dominant AFC
they'll
team.
be the only.
House is getting ideas.
I have
Look
a
how
quibble.
happy.
Well, I have a quibble.
Happy talking about the Skins.
I wouldn't have Green Bay in ahead of the Falcons because they played each other and the Falcons beat them.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
That would be. But
so
otherwise.
Maybe it's Chiefs, Rams, Lions, Broncos? Because the Lions should be undefeated.
The Lions.
Although it was stupid, I guess, to throw over the middle to Golden Tate. Like, if he doesn't catch it, you lose the game. But, I mean, they were 6 inches away from being undefeated.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That critical
Broncos
6
lost
inches.
a week ago. Maybe there is no top tier.
I don't think so. I think the Chiefs could pull away a little bit, but I still think, if they somehow would have to go to Foxborough in January, that's a loss. But
I loved the
not looking
slate
like that.
yesterday and somehow lost money anyway.
yeah.
I love the Rams. I love the Texans. I love the Bucks. I loved
I love the
49ers. Niners.
Yeah. I'm actually
And I
proud
love the
of you.
Broncos.
Here's what Bill Simmons did. This is something interesting he did. We guessed the lines last week. I said Cardinals home for 49ers. You said 3. He's like, I'd say Arizona by 3. I said, no, it's 7. He's like, that's ridiculous. I'm betting the Niners, and it worked.
And I did the same thing with the Rams.
How often does that work? When you say something like on a Monday, like, oh, no way, that line is way off.
I
and
said
then
the
you
line
bet
was
it.
off, and same thing for the Rams. I thought that line
Rams,
was off.
Cowboys. Yeah, right. Well,
I
then
thought
Sean
that
Lee
line
went
was going to
out.
be 3.5. Mm-hmm. But the Rams, I didn't watch that game because I was driving all over Southern California for soccer. it looked like the Rams just moved the ball and did stuff. The Rams have a good offense. Like I picked up Jared Goff in our fantasy league last week. Mm-hmm. He was available. I think they have the most points in the league.
I was just going to look
the
that
Chiefs
up. 142 points in 4 games.
The Chiefs could top that today with like 20 points. But
right.
Yeah, the Rams are putting up 30 a game.
Yeah. Well,
House isn't a believer.
It's so early. I mean, we can't reach. I don't want to fall right into cliche talk, but only 4 games in. Mm-hmm. There's just some eyebrow raisers is all. I mean, the Rams have a proven history of underperforming in a colossal. I mean, in a wonderful array of different manners. So
before the week 1 column that I wrote, or during the week 1 column I wrote, I said that they had a chance to be the shitty 10-6 team that made the playoffs.
Right.
I don't know if they're shitty.
This
like
is a
Todd
big
Gurley
test.
might be like, is he one of the 4 best running backs in the league this year?
Getting
Probably.
you mad. How bad? Everyone seemed to have Todd Gurley on one of their 7 fantasy teams the last 2 years, and now
he
it's
had
just
so much
explosive.
buzz. So their next 5 games, they're going Seattle at home.
That's the big one.
That's
right?
the big one.
Yeah.
At Jacksonville, home for Arizona, bye week. At the Giants, home for Houston. At Minnesota, who has now just been ravaged.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bradford who knows when he comes back. They lose Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Home for the Saints. At Arizona, home for Philly. At Seattle, at Tennessee, home for San Francisco. Like that kind of feels like 12-4 if they can stay healthy.
Wow.
If you have them,
amazing.
if you like them to beat Seattle this week, you're going to have a tough time convincing yourself that Seattle's going to come back and win the division, right? I know it is early, but 2-game lead would be something.
We were at dinner last night. I did not watch that game. I don't feel like I missed that much Colts Seahawks, but I know because you watch all football games. Is there anything you learned from that game?
Well, the Seahawks was my best bet. One of 2 best bets. I had the Jaguars, who were on the 2-yard line, down 3, about to go up 4, but before I got bortled. But
Bortled.
I don't know.
Is that a verb now?
It's got to be.
You got bortled.
You got bortled?
Yeah. I guess I bortled myself. I don't think you can get bortled. But Seahawks, they just turned it on in the second half. I like this new running back. This is going to be the big waiver pickup, right?
Which one?
McNichol? What is it? Who's
How
the
many
Seahawks?
running backs do the Seahawks
Well,
have?
Procise is hurt.
Infinite number.
It just seems like the running back supply is endless.
It's true.
Like the Giants yesterday had this dude, what's his name, Gallman?
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
It's like Gallman Jr.
Clemson kid, yeah.
Gallman Jr.'s in. He looked pretty good.
yeah,
But it was
yeah.
fourth
He is
round
good.
pick.
Yeah.
Was just the entire tape, was the 3rd and 4th round just all running backs?
Pretty much.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this guy's name because I
Gallman.
laughed every time they said it.
Like-
J.D. McKissick. That's it.
McKissick. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
J.D. McKissick.
Yeah, he was on
Yeah,
Falcons
he
for a
sounds
minute.
familiar.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Saints have Adrian Peterson, who comes in the game, and you just know they're going to run the ball with him. He runs in the line and falls down.
Right.
And it's
Need
like,
to
why
cut
is
him.
he on the team?
He doesn't need
I
to
don't
be
know.
on that team.
No.
Yeah. There are teams that can use him.
I was so excited. I woke up yesterday. We'd gone out to Cassell's the night before, and I had a patty melt. I just woke up, my stomach hurt, and it's like 6:20 in the morning. It's pitch black, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I'll just go through emails. I'm like, oh, Saints Dolphins. I was so excited. There was football on. Sit down and make coffee. Sit down and watch it, and it's just awful. It was like 0-0
bad.
with like
You got Cutler.
an hour into. Oh, he's so bad.
Yeah.
Matt Moore should start for them this week, you would think, right?
Yeah, like
how come Cutler's like body language is bad, the throws are bad? What's good about him?
I wonder what Adam Gase was trying to prove there. Like, is it just like I'm the Cutler whisperer? So even though Matt Moore may be fine and he was decent and got us a little to the playoffs, and but we lost a tough game. But what is his deal? What seemed like a lot of downside bringing Cutler in.
Yeah. Well, especially like they were only 6-9 with him that year when he was the Cutler whisperer. But I watched that team. Like I have Jarvis Landry on my fantasy team. It seems like he's open. Devontae Parker is scary. Like Jay Ajayi is good.
They can't get him off.
How do you get shut out by the Saints?
Parker and Landry are supposed to be 2 of the top 20 fastest guys in the league, and Cutler refuses to throw downfield. It's all check down. You don't want to say a football team has didn't try because it's ridiculous how badly injured guys can get for not trying.
Yeah.
But 3rd and 20, like 9 minutes left, they ran the ball down 13. They hadn't scored yet. They're with not like,
Just,
and
with
then it
Cutler,
was like a
just
false start.
throw deep balls down the field
what
and
I
have
mean.
somebody jump up and try to get him. I never
those two
understood
guys.
if you're going to get shut out. I don't get that. So some other stuff that happened. We'll talk about the Pats in a second. Deshaun Watson Kudos to Lombardi. Lombardi, like the 6 weeks leading up to the draft, was like Deshaun Watson. I would take him. That guy's a culture changer. This guy can't miss. I don't know what these teams are doing that don't have a quarterback. Like he went all in.
Right.
And then a bunch of teams passed him, including the Jets and Bengals.
And the Browns traded their pick that ended up being Deshaun Watson.
He was against the Pats. Always hard to say with this how bad this Pats defense is, but the thing that struck me in that game was how calm he was and how nervous I was because of him. And then it transferred over to this Tennessee game. And now hear the Houston guys talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, we have a quarterback. This is DeAndre Hopkins. He's got to feel like he won the lottery.
It's the very best possible situation for Deshaun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he goes to a team. It's almost like if he'd gone to Houston or Denver, those are the two places where they have incredible defenses. What the critical missing link they have is at the quarterback position.
Or if he'd gone to like Cincinnati, then he's on Cincinnati.
Or the
But
Browns.
Houston, it's like they not only did they really need him, not only was he the missing piece, but he goes to this fan base that's never had a quarterback.
Right.
And
Well, they had Schaub for a minute.
Schaub,
He had a minute. There was a
counting
minute with
Schaub?
Schaub. They won. They went 12-4 one season.
You knew what you
didn't
were
they?
getting with Chubb. He was
Yeah.
getting that first
He's
round
fine.
playoff game against the Bengals
And
they
losing
were-
it.
They
that
had
was-
him for a minute.
Here's what I'll say about Watson.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year, unfortunately, Dalvin Cook's out of the mix now. I think he was favored.
Yeah. By the way,
But-
I'm going to have services for my fantasy team at the end of this podcast
I
because
have
it's
the same
officially
kind of
over.
deal. It's so
I
bad.
also spent $20 on Christian McCaffrey, who
Oh, no.
is basically Deion Lewis, it seems like. I don't even know what. Tate, have you given up already?
I never bought in.
Okay.
Why was everybody blowing him before the season?
Because it seemed like they were revolving their whole offense around him.
Right. But they did, and then they stopped, right, Tate? Like they did last
decoy.
week, and now it was a decoy this week, and they won. So
Tate
I don't
doesn't
know
have
what
a
to
mic
say.
because House stole his mic.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Just
Sorry,
scream,
Tate.
scream your lungs out. But who would you go rookie of the year right now? Hunt minus 120.
It's got to be Kareem Hunt.
What about Watson? Why not Watson plus 110?
Well, if Kareem Hunt rushes for 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, I'm going to vote for him. He's on pace.
I didn't know that you could still get Watson at a plus number.
That's what I mean.
I have some very important messaging to do immediately after this podcast.
Didn't we
Coach
talk about him
Baby.
before the year? We talked about him for Rookie of the
Yeah.
Year, right?
The idea is so that I always take a quarterback over a running back for a rookie of the year kind of gig.
Don't
that.
forget,
You
like
kidding me?
Elliott was the crazy stats, and Prescott won last year. Maybe it is worth taking Watson.
Plus
They-
110.
No, Mariota already got hurt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, it must
It's
be
just shocker.
October the 1st.
Breaking these news to us. News to us.
I've never heard of Lombardi talked about it on GM Street last night, and it got me thinking, like, I've never heard of a quarterback like pulling a hammy. When does that ever happen in the history of football?
I don't want to revel in it because he's clearly such a good guy and such an important part to that team. I don't want to be a dick about it.
Then
But
he should be a senator.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, be a
You
senator
got
if
to
you're a great
play.
guy.
You got to play.
Well, it looks like Houston has that division by the balls now.
I like that. That was
Right.
our original pick, right?
Yeah,
Houston.
we're feeling good about that. The problem is, what was our big bet with House? Seattle, Green Bay,
Pittsburgh.
and
And
not
the
the Pats.
Pats.
No, the Pats weren't in it.
No,
the odds
Green
were
Bay
too big.
wasn't in it. No, I think
Seattle,
the Pats were in it.
Seattle, Pittsburgh, and the Pats.
Yeah.
Which one are you the most nervous of to win the division?
Incredibly, Seattle.
I think the Rams
I
could
feel
win
the
that
same way.
division
I'm
because of that
nervous about
schedule.
Seattle. We're going to have to do a hedge because
Yeah.
I went even further. I put the Chiefs on one. I put the Texans on. I took
I
the
did
three-way
too.
and
I
went
put
four-way.
I had the Texans in there too.
Went three-way to four-way. Jesus.
So it looks like the Raiders. My instincts were correct.
you were right.
There's another
I
one I was
wrong
good at.
about
The
that.
Raiders. I was wrong on plenty of things, but it looks like the Raiders were everyone's blowing smoke and jerking them off, and they're a legit contender. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, they hadn't done anything, and they were 3-3 against AFC West last year.
I still don't understand it. And you listen to GM Street, and Lombardi talks about the blue chippers on the offensive line for the Raiders and
Lot of
all this
talent.
other thing. I don't
Lack
see
of
why it's not adding up.
explosiveness.
Well,
Well,
that's
same,
right.
same issue with your team.
Yeah.
No game breakers.
How is it possible Cooper and Crabtree? I think they might stink. Cooper
Yeah.
and Crabtree. The
Or Cooper is
Redskins
maybe a number 2
Crabtree didn't
receiver
play.
being
He didn't
treated
play.
like a number 1
Yeah.
receiver.
And the Deadskins shut them down. Shut them the F down.
Quick break talk about Bluehost, the top-rated website provider powering over 2 million websites for bloggers or small business owners. Bluehost has everything you need to build, host, and manage the personal or small business website you've always wanted. Design your website your way without being limited by templates. Simple enough for beginners, powerful enough for even the most advanced users. Sal, maybe you could put your 500 picks up this year. Quest for 500. You just go 500 every week.
Oh, yeah.
This
3
year
weeks
you're
in
like
a row,
Captain
101.
500.
Oh, God.
Fully customizable templates, third-party app support, 99% uptime guarantee, maximum security, not to mention Bluehost 24/7 tech support, online resources, expert services. No wonder it's been the top recommended WordPress host on WordPress.org since 2005. Bluehost makes hosting your website stress-free. Get back to what matters most, gambling. Now, our listeners save 50% when you sign up at Bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. That is Bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. Speaking of gambling, on your podcast, Against All Odds, the trifecta,
They did a great job.
they swept it, right?
No, damn, the Cowboys cost on a money line for the parlay kid. But
So you had a chance to sweep.
had a chance, and that's the one I bought. I do a thing called Sharp Tank, where I between the three, they pitch me their best bet, and 2 weeks in a row, I've picked the only one that's lost. But Harry had Washington State was like plus 180 over USC, big
Wow.
win, and brother Brian has a 7-team college parlay that won.
There's
Paid
no
like 3.5
President
to
Cup
1.
pick?
17?
President's Cup? Nobody
We
dabbled
did
in
have
that?
the I had to reach out to House. It couldn't even find the scores for this, for
Yeah.
the top American.
There's so little interest in it. You know, there was barely any like results afterwards. Like, oh, they basically shut it they won the thing Saturday. Yeah, I had made a couple of small plays on top American. There's some decent
Who'd you
odds
have?
out there.
Kisner and
Kisner
Koepka?
and Koepka.
Yeah.
When did the President's Cup start?
1994.
Feels like this contrived.
Yeah.
Some network executive started it. Like, what if we have our version
Well,
of the
it,
Ryder
right.
Cup?
it wasn't quite that cynical. There was this idea that getting the non-European international players some exposure would be good for all of the tours, and so that's what it's the Australians, it's the South Africans, and Gary Players had a big part in it. They just can't get enough guys together that are worth a shit.
I feel bad. I feel like we're rubbing it in. We do like cartwheels. These guys who are expressionless for months and months and months, and they're just like making snow angels in the sand traps.
I mean,
after we win,
Kisner and Mickelson did the Three Amigos chest bump.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, wow, that thing.
it's very.
It was like 40 years
is,
ago.
Tiger Woods is launching a new cup in his Orlando golf course next year. You didn't hear about this? It's the Tiger
true?
Woods Tripod Cup.
Oh no!
It's a trophy. It's shaped like his tripod cell phone picture. That was a discussion at dinner last night.
What do you have to do to win
Unbelievable.
it?
Discussion at dinner last night was whether Tiger released that photo himself and photoshopped it.
Oh, interesting.
That's outrageous.
Well, there were internet rumors about photoshopping. I don't believe them. I think it was
a damn thing.
my only suspicion. Anytime there's a cell phone pic like that, is whether there was a little self fluffing before.
Who cares? It's giant. You go ahead and self-fluff right now. And let's see.
Don't talk bad about Tiger's penis in front of House.
That's
I told
exactly
you this.
right.
You love-
I
It's
told
a
you this.
giant-
Simmons.
This should be part of the Shack House podcast. Every week, Tiger's penis should get an email
We
from
gave
a reader
We
or
gave it
listener.
1 week. I don't know. How many
Listeners
more weeks
should
it
each week
needs.
send an email to Tiger's penis. Hey, Tiger's
Crazy.
penis. I'm thinking about buying a new car.
Well, it's the only part
Tiger,
of him
just
that,
go big.
It's the only part of him that works. Poor Tiger.
Dalvin Cook out for the year.
Yeah, it's sad.
Sam Bradford is Sam Bradford.
I like that team. I like that team, and now
We're
it's just
crossing
some-
them off,
Two straight
right?
years.
It's tough.
Gotta
Two
cross them
straight
off.
years.
The defense is so good; it's going to keep them in all these games. But yeah,
unfair.
you lose your quarterback.
Peterson
and your
trade?
best- coming back.
No?
Interesting. Nah.
So it looks like Lions versus Packers. We got two playoff teams in that.
In that
Rams
division.
Rams and Seahawks, two playoff teams in that.
Oh, not so fast.
Whoever
Not
wins
so-
the NFC South, and then whoever wins the NFC East, and that's our six.
the NFC South, the last place is 2-2. Why couldn't there be two teams from the
Well,
NFC
then they'd
South?
have to grab the Seahawks spot,
Yeah.
right? Unless you think like the Packers are going to fold. I think the Lions are legit. I was impressed by them in that Falcons game.
I'm not ready to count out the NFC East. I'll
There you
see
go,
tonight.
House. There you go.
I want to see my guys tonight.
I like it.
That defense is so much improved. I can't tell
You
you,
have
the
a
last
great
time we had
pass
good
rush.
defense.
It's the complete opposite of how I feel when I watch the Patriots. You actually can pressure the passer and do some stuff.
Yes, it's an incredible
I
feeling.
so Carson Wentz, I've seen a couple NFL films, like him on the sidelines, like
Yeah.
him with the 61-yard field goal and him,
Right.
the way he interacts. And then there's stuff about how he took everybody to North Dakota and they had like this bonding. He actually seems like he might be something. He might have some leadership skills.
You like him?
I do. I think I like him. I like the way he carries himself.
I like.
I don't know how good he is, but I like he has the quarterback intangibles thing down.
I totally agree with you, and I like the Eagles coming into this season as the team that's going to win the NFC East, and they haven't done anything to detract from that. Effing Lombardi is so down on Doug Peterson.
Oh yeah,
I know.
He kills Peterson, but the thing is, if Wentz is the leader, right, and they're all galvanized around him, then that offsets the Peterson effect. Damn it.
Eagles now minus 120. First time they're favored to win the division this year.
You know why I brought him up?
Let me hear.
Because Captain Morgan, the captain, will not rest until he has brought his adventurous spirit and delicious rum to every corner of America. Original spice, coconut, pineapple, white, black, grapefruit, whatever you want. The captain loves anyone who learns to mix like a captain. Every week, Sal and I pick a captain of the week. I think mine is Carson Wentz.
You like him, huh?
I like the way he carries himself.
Sure.
I think if I'm a Philly fan, I don't know how talented he is. Maybe he's a guy who's going to throw the ball away too much. I like the way he moves around. I like the way he inspires the team. I agree with Lombardi that Doug Peterson might be a train wreck. But I think they have a real quarterback. And you go on down the line, it's like, I don't know about Jameis.
No, I know.
Like, why? I needed Tampa to cover the -3, and I was going to go 5-0 in the Super Contest, and I'm watching Jameis. And Jameis is just too up and down.
Everything looks too difficult for him.
Yeah, I don't
Even
feel like
the
he's
easy
gotten
throws.
better in 2 years, and I really thought this was going to be the year he made the leap.
Right.
And then you look at Mariota, who just can't stay on the field, and you go on down the line. Andrew Luck's already banged up, and Cam Newton, even though he had his comeback week, But Wentz might, Wentz and Goff, that maybe those guys will be good.
I would never put Goff anywhere near Wentz.
Yeah, let's slow
Why
down.
can't we let Goff? Goff's played well this year.
He needs to speed up that arm.
Well, Carson Wentz is my captain. Who's your captain this week?
Let me just say, is he still your captain if he doesn't give his game check to the kicker like he promised?
Yeah, how do we feel about that?
I think we have to see.
Throwaway line?
I think we have to see. It's not captain-like if you promise a game check and then renege
How much
on
do
the
we
deal.
think he makes a year? Like 4 or 5 million?
Rookie deal in the
17 weeks. That's like a $300,000 game check.
Yeah. That's stupid if he gives that up.
I think he should. He should weasel his way out of that.
No, he needs to do it.
Buy him dinner. Call it even.
If he's going to be a captain.
Yeah.
That Jake Elliott's so happy that he made it. All right,
All
who's
right,
your
here's
captain
my
this week, Sal?
My captain, it's tough because it's an 84,423 way tie for every spectator who had to watch that crap fest in Wembley. They're all my captain of the week.
Oh,
for
all the London fans.
Every
Incredible.
fan who's
Great idea.
sitting through that soggy suck fest of a game.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Where there was how many points? There was it's crazy. It was 100 and I don't know. I have the number and I can't read it now. 146 yards and penalties. One team didn't score. It's just awful. Like, we should be sending these games to North Korea, not London. I'm done with this.
That's an interesting idea. The North Korea market might have to beef that up.
What kind of game do we send there if this is
I
what
like
we're sending?
that.
This is crazy. I'm sorry, London. We didn't
Here's
send
your
you.
football game, Rocket Man. Sad.
And no one's standing at your anthem. Your anthem's crap. Carolina, New England, Tampa Bay Giants. We could have sent them a lot of good games. We didn't. We sent them, and I apologize.
I thought Saints Dolphins was going to be good. I
did
going
too.
into it. I was excited. I was like, Cutler's going to air it out this week.
Yeah.
Have a little shootout, and it was like they couldn't stay out there.
It was
Anyway.
not good.
House, do you want an audible captain
I
for
would
us?
love to audible a
Yeah,
captain.
have a
I'm so
captain.
glad to have an opportunity to get on the captain. My captain, kind of picking up on the Cousins theme here, Dean Spanos for the incredible job of poop alchemy. I mean, it's unbelievable that a guy can take an NFL franchise in a city with a stable fan base, and because he's not able to extort a stadium out of them, move them to a place where the people could not care less, and in fact, provide a venue for the fans of the other team to all gather together every week, all eight weeks here in Los Angeles area against the LA Chargers. Fans of those other teams get to come and celebrate. Congratulations, Dean Spanos.
15 years, the LA market's sitting there, and he's just staring at it and doesn't do anything.
The poop
And then,
captain.
and then Kroenke just comes in, buys all the land.
Yeah.
He deserves
House
it.
has to go.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go?
Yeah, good
All right,
time.
this is it. He can't go 25 minutes without eating. This is it. This is it.
All right,
He's
bye,
out.
House.
All right.
Off.
Off
So
the
what's
one.
the House of Carbs today?
Yeah.
All
House
right.
of
See you,
Cards.
House.
All right.
See you,
Bye,
boys.
House.
Let me pick up on this one thing because I talked to 3 Eagles fans who went to the game. Actually,
Yeah, I think a lot of Philly fans went to that game.
Well, my friend Andy is like, he asked me like midweek. He's like, I have 2 tickets. You want to go to the game? And I told him, I said, fuck you. Don't ever talk to me again.
Right.
I said, I don't want these tickets. I don't want to go. But anyway, I talked to Eagles fans, and they see it as, where else would you want to watch a football game? This is great. The opposing team sees it as like a sports bar. Like, when what's the Boston sports bar here?
You get to see all your dudes.
And that's it. It's your Boston sports bar times 1,000. It's
Right.
all your guys.
That's basically what every Red Sox Angels game is.
right. Yeah.
The Angels, they get 10,000 Red Sox fans at the games, and it's like, oh, I'm with all my Boston people.
Right. But it's
And-
terrible, right? If you're raising
like
your
the
kid
only
a
people
Charger
it's-
fan, it's not good.
Well, but then if you're a Chargers fan, you should have quit on this team anyway.
I know.
Because they moved out of your city. So give up. Just start gambling or pick a new team.
Right.
Or stay with them and just watch on TV. I think what sucks is that if you're on the team, you have a home field disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they'd have more fans at these games. I knew the Philly fan was going to be the game was going to be a problem. I didn't know like the Dolphins were going to overtake the stadium.
Right, yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
So,
like
they
what
have a
city
Raider-
would have to, what team would like Tampa do well? Like, I'm not sure.
Like who?
Where does it become
what fans
50-50
don't travel?
again? Yeah.
Pretty crazy. But I went from thinking, oh, maybe the energy in that stadium, you'll have fans on both sides, and but no, it's
Nope.
just sad and depressing. Before we get to the Week 5 games, cross-off teams.
Oh. New England Patriots. Who else?
Crossing off the Browns, right?
Oh, yeah.
Crossing off the Niners, 0-4.
Mm-hmm. All the 0-4s. Chargers?
Crossing off the Chargers.
Yeah.
The Giants are the only one I hesitated on. Could they go 9-7? Could the second wild card be a 9-7 record? Could they get to 9-7?
I don't have their schedule, but
Because
I'm
their
gonna
last
say-
2 games they lost in the in the last 3 minutes. They're not like the Browns just getting blown out by
right.
Andy Dalton.
Right.
They go. They're home for the Chargers this week. Mm-hmm. At Denver, home for Seattle, bye week. I think they have to win 2 of those next 3, so they'd be 2-5. Mm-hmm. Home for the Rams at San Francisco. Conceivably 4-5 at that point. Home for Kansas City at Washington on a Thursday. They'd have to split those 5-6. At Oakland, who knows with that team? They could be 6-6 by that point. Home for Dallas, Philly. Let's say they split those 7-7. At Arizona, home for Washington. Their last month's pretty favorable.
Yeah.
3 home games, all against NFC East teams.
We could wait
so
one more
if
week.
they're, yeah, I don't
We
think we can
wait
cross
one.
them
We don't have
off
to
yet,
cross them
right?
off. I don't think they go 9-3, but
Well, we
could wait
usually
one
try
week.
to cross off a team per
Right.
week. We're 4 weeks in. I can only find 3.
Okay. Wait.
You wouldn't cross off anyone else, right?
Yeah, I guess the Bengals survive another week of
I don't think we can
cross-off.
cross off anyone in that division.
Right. Because it's bad.
Because it's bad, and it's like if Roethlisberger gets hurt next week, then 9-7 might win that division.
You're
I'm
not
crossing
crossing the
Bengals.
Colts off
Can't
if they lose this week, though,
can't cross the Colts off.
because of luck coming back. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So that's it. And
So
the,
we had
and the
3
Bears, you're
cross-offs.
not. Even though you're saying 2 teams in the NFC North,
Can't cross off the Bears yet because the Vikings stink, and I think the Bears schedule's
but there's 2 good teams already in that division. They're like 2 games behind the Lions, who you have as a wild card. All right, we don't have to cross.
I
them
can't
off.
cross the Bears
Doesn't
off
matter. Yeah, we're fine.
Tate, would you cross the Bears off?
Tate, grab your mic back.
Oh yeah, Tate, hold on.
Tate's not crossing them off until he sees Trubisky in there.
No, it's because of the Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, Cohen and Trubisky. I'm in on both those guys.
I think the Bears have something. Like those 2 running backs together are kind of
Yeah.
scary. I don't want to cross them off yet. I
right.
like their defense too. All right.
Week 5.
Week 5. We have some buys this week.
Let me just say we're 2-2 against each other. But people
Yeah.
get mad that we don't recap the score and everything.
Yes.
But week 5, 2-2. Yeah, 4 teams on bye. Falcons, Broncos, Saints, Redskins.
Which of those 4 needed the buy the most? Probably the Falcons.
Yeah, I guess the Falcons. Yeah, I think they win that game. I know I'm going to get crap from Bills fans, and because they were the team I was most wrong about all year, I think. But kind of lucky to be where they are. I think I really do.
The Bills or the Falcons?
They beat the Jets. Bills. They
should have won week 1,
Couple
though.
calls What week 1?
Remember week 1 they should have won.
Didn't they play the Jets week 1?
Week 2, Panthers.
Week 2. Panthers. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, week 2 was Panthers.
Yeah, they
Zay
lost
Jones
tonight.
and the
Yeah,
the game
ZJ,
turned.
that's what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
should have won that one.
Maybe. Weird call with Denver and Von
Defense
Miller.
is good. They don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's good. But Julio Jones plays. Mohamed Sanu plays.
The part I don't understand with them is why they didn't need Sammy Watkins.
Well, that's what's weird.
Like
Didn't it look
was he like a bad teammate?
They were
What happened
scrapping
there?
the whole team for draft picks.
Yeah.
And Reggie
'Cause-
Ragland at the end. Like that never works for teams.
I don't know if that Zay Jones is the answer, but maybe they'll be able to. If they really feel like they have a chance to win the division, they could always
Could be good.
flip for a wide receiver. So Thursday night,
Here we go.
this is bizarre. I actually thought it was a mistake when they were talking about this during the Pats game. Like,
What?
they got to, Thursday night in Tampa. I'm like, we're playing Thursday night in Tampa? Like somehow I missed it. I don't think we've played in Tampa Bay 3 times in my life.
That could be right.
I'm gonna say, if you gave me the over under for 3.5, I would go under. I can't remember the last time we've played there. I honestly can't. I don't know if it's happened in the last
Not on a
15
Thursday
years.
night.
I can't remember the last road game they've played on a Thursday night against a non-AFC East team. And I actually thought
Not
Thursday
even the
nights were going to be
opener?
mostly division games.
Right.
But this one's not.
It's a weird game.
And it's the worst possible timing for them because the defense is in complete disarray.
Mm-hmm.
And of all weeks where you would have wanted a week to kind of plan stuff, my guess is that everybody and their brother is going to write them off this week, which is usually a good sign if you're a Pats fan.
Write them off. Oh,
Well,
this
just
is
like,
this is
oh,
where
their defense
Belichick
is-
shines. And we're
I know.
coming back
I
after
would
a
urge
loss.
people to be careful with the Pats. My pick for this game, Pats at Tampa. My pick is Pats by 3.5.
No, you know it's higher than that. You just
No,
know.
I really
you,
don't.
You know it's higher than that.
It's higher than that.
Yeah, because
what is
it's
it?
a back against the wall game. I had 6. It's 5. So
I think that's a
barely
mistake.
reached it.
It's a Thursday night game.
Oh, I get it.
I think Tampa's
get it.
pretty good, and I mean, we're on pace to give up over 500 points this year. So I looked it up. The entire Belichick Pats run.
Mm-hmm.
True or false? They've never given up 350 points in a season.
False.
True.
Really?
Yeah. They've never given up more than like 346. So they're on pace right now for 516. I don't know. It's a problem.
The
right?
other thing is they have 2 home losses. I think they had 2
They should
last
have
year.
3.
They had 1 in 2015 and 1 in 2014. Very strange.
Could
Very
argue they should
strange
have
team.
3.
But the defense is bad. But what did Carolina have? Like 21 going into the fourth quarter? Like, it wasn't, you expect your team to score 35 at home
The
and be
problem
right
is
there.
they didn't take care of Malcolm Butler, and he hasn't been good this year. They spent their free agent ransom money on, or not ransom, but their whatever for Gilmore, who has not been good this year.
Right.
And they didn't address the front seven really at all. Then their 3rd round pick gets hurt. Ninkovich retires.
Ninkovich retiring could be bigger than
They
anything, even
lose
though
Allen Branch.
numbers wise, not spectacular, but a leader.
No, but it's like
kind of like a leader.
Yeah, they
type.
just kind of lost their identity,
Yeah.
and I don't see how it gets better because as Lombardi said on GM Street, you can see every play they're getting pushed backwards, and that's not fixable. I don't know
Right.
how they fix it. Here's what I would do if I was the Patriots. I would go the other way. People are like, "Oh, what should they do? Go out. Who can they trade for?" It's like this defense is going to suck. Belichick's going to be able to put stuff together. I would actually try to make the offense better. I would go get Jarvis Landry. Let's just load
Right.
up. Let's
Yeah, we have to score
let's
50.
have like a million weapons and just be like, we're staying on the field for 40 minutes a game. You're not even getting the ball. We're just gonna fly down and kick your ass
Also-
because you're gonna score on us when you get the ball.
It's interesting. It's a nice thing to do for Brady too. Like in his last couple of
Well,
years.
what was that
Like,
Colts
let
team?
you show off.
Remember that Colts team that they might have even won the Super Bowl when the safety Bob Sanders when he was hurt most of the year, and they were just giving up 30 points a game, but
Right.
Manning was scoring and they were
Reggie
somehow
Wayne,
competent.
Harrison, Edge James, yeah.
Maybe that's what they have to do because I don't know if they can solve the defense.
Well, I think they do have to do that.
The other option would be to fire the defensive coordinator who Belichick has been carrying for the last few years, and nobody wants to admit that he's really not good, and that in all of these Super Bowls they've fallen behind. Teams have had big drives in them, and if it's not for that Malcolm Butler play, they lose that Seattle game.
I don't know
And
about
this-
scheming wise. They do seem to draft the right type of guy for every position. That is a Belichick special. But when you get to like scheming as a defensive coordinator, maybe you're right. Maybe this isn't the guy for the job.
might not be
Minus
the guy.
700 to win the division. That went way. What was it to start? Minus 5,000, 10,000 or something crazy.
This is easily the worst defense. I actually went through because I remembered like the 05 defense being bad the year Brewski, after the third Super Bowl, Brewski had like the stroke, so he didn't play that year and people got old. I was like, I remember that defense being really bad. And I think they gave up like 340 points.
Right.
It wasn't even, they weren't even that gad. You know, they gave up a 40-point game to the Colts, but other than that, it wasn't like a disaster. And then Jake Plummer kind of picked them apart in the playoffs. This defense is much worse than that.
Do you guys want to guess one more oddsy type thing? When the game was tied, the Patriots tied it. How much time was left? How much time did the Panthers have to take?
4 minutes.
Yeah.
No, was it that much?
Yeah.
4 minutes. Panthers have the ball. What do you think the line is on the game?
Pats by like 200, minus 200.
Wow. Just the fact that they were favored. There was minus 150.
Wow.
But the fact that they were favored and the Panthers had the ball driving against this bad defense to win was
I
surprising.
thought it was a quick 3-and-out for the Panthers.
Oh, really?
And then Brady comes down and scores a touchdown to win.
That's
It
what he thought
almost
was
could have
it.
been. There was a couple of weird calls in that last drive.
The Pats, Amendola is not going to play 17 games. Or 17. He's not going to last 17 weeks the way that they're relying on him now because he can't stay on the field. He takes too many hits.
Yeah.
That's why Jarvis Landry, I feel like he could go steal right now. He's just terrible situation with this bad quarterback, and Miami, it doesn't seem like they're happy with him. I would go take that guy. Just put him
Interesting.
Put him on the team. Just
That'd be
blow
smart.
it out.
Another interdivision trade that kills the inferior team.
So the Sunday marquee game of the week. I almost hurt your feelings and did Seahawks Rams for this.
Oh, okay.
I almost hurt your feelings because the game I'm the most excited about
You
is
love the
Seahawks
Rams.
Rams.
You love
But
it. Wasn't that like 7-3 last year? Seahawks.
I just
were home
can't.
for-
This is it. The Rams. Everybody's gonna blow smoke up their
right.
asses all week. Sean McVay. Oh my God, he's so great. Jared Goff. Todd Gurley. This is it. All right, go out, prove it, because
Right.
everybody's gonna be kissing your ass this week. Sunday marquee. Dallas hosting the Packers.
You wouldn't hurt
of Green
my
Bay.
feelings. We're not very good right now.
Packers. I have favored by 3 points in Dallas.
Oh, wow. I had Cowboys by 2. It's Cowboys by 2.5. Oh, you're really down on the Cowboys.
really down
I can't
on your
believe
team.
you'd make this the marquee matchup.
I'm
if
so
you think
down
Green
on your
Bay's
team.
favored on the.
I thought your defense was shaky anyway. And how long's Sean Lee out now?
It's they don't know, but it's gonna be bad. I mean, there was a mass exodus for the D-backs this year from Dallas, and I didn't even love any of them. I like Barry Church, who's a hard hitter. He went to, but then Mars Claiborne I had no use for. Carr played, but serviceable, but never got hurt. But these replacements are not gangbusters by any stretch, and you lose Sean Lee, and it's a different story. Marinelli, talk about defensive coordinators that might be in trouble.
Yeah. But
You're right there.
you're not explosive either.
Right.
I don't see how you keep pace with them this game.
Dez isn't a top 8 receiver anymher.
Don't you think the Packers will be favored by the end of the week?
Maybe it might come down, and then again they're playing on 10 days rest against Dallas. Another screw job in that regard.
I was
could be
gonna. I was trying to talk myself into the Rams money line yesterday. I couldn't do it. I ended
Really?
up doing the Niners money line,
Yeah,
which was like plus 230 with the
Ugh, you gotta
Seahawks.
sit through that overtime.
First down and goal from the 8. They run play. The guy gets tackled 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They end up
Yeah,
settling
right.
for the field goal. And then Carson Palmer, Has anybody just vacillate between competent and completely incompetent like him during a football game? All of a sudden, he's competent. He's just firing down the field. He's finding open guys. It's like, what? You've been terrible for 3 hours.
Just send somebody every time against him. He gets the happy feet and he's in trouble. What do you think of the overtime, the 10 minutes? I think it's like 2.
I would have gone 12.
Yeah, 12 is better.
12 seems fair.
Because
10 seemed too fast.
Well, now the coin toss means more than anything.
Yeah.
Like you get a 6.5 minute drive and you kick a field goal. The other team only has 3.5 minutes to match your field goal. It seems like coin tosses means a lot.
If you were a 29-year-old up-and-coming play-by-play guy who your dream was to be like the next Al Michaels or Joe
Tate,
Buck or
you're talking
whoever,
about Tate right now. Yeah.
and you were watching that game, and I think that was the game Dick Stockton announced. He was announcing one of them.
I think it was Sam Rosen. Or was
Sam
it Dick
Rosen. So you're watching
Maybe
these
I'm
games,
wrong.
and it's like Dick Stockton, Sam
Yeah.
Rosen.
Yeah.
you just got to be like, oh my God, I'm never getting a break.
Because
These guys are 100 years old, still the play-by-play guys.
Yeah,
Like, when am I going to get a chance? You
Right.
just do the math. Joe Buck's not leaving. Al Michaels is leaving. Like, how am I going to break into the business?
Yeah.
Have to kill
Can't
somebody.
do it, Tate. So, can I just say something about Zeke Elliott real
Yeah.
quick? People think he's not a good guy. So he
Can
scores.
I still think he's not a good guy after this?
Well,
Okay.
you'll see. Let's listen. He dives for the pylon. He scores touchdown. He does the hot potato thing. The Cowboys get in a circle. The offensive line. He throws the ball around. The fat number 73 spikes it, and that's it. They review the play. He's not in. It's not a touchdown. Okay. He scores later on, same end zone. Takes the ball, runs it up to his mother in the front row and kisses her. He was that convinced that he was going to score twice that he forgot about his mother for the first celebration, but did it the second time. That's what a good guy's like. Sorry, Ma, I got to do this hot potato thing. If there's time and I score and it happens to be in the same end zone, you'll get the ball, I promise. What a great guy. There you go.
I'm still not convinced.
He's confident.
I was
Loves
watching the
his mother.
Broncos Raiders yesterday. I think it was C.J. Anderson. They showed his mom in the stands.
Uh-huh.
Apologies if it wasn't him, but I think it was him. It was somebody in Denver. And they were like, there's his mom. She's wearing a Raiders jacket.
Oh, no.
And she's got the Denver jersey underneath. And they're saying, there's this mom. She's a huge Raiders fan. She's really conflicted about this game.
Wow.
I'm thinking, like, conflicted? Like, that's her son.
But just for one game.
Just wait for one game, root for your son. What's worse than having lousy sheets? I can't think of anything. Remember being in college trying to prolong the same set of sheets for like 9 weeks?
Right.
How disgusting they were. Tate, how often do you do laundry?
What do you mean for my sheets?
No, just in general. How often do you do laundry? Young
Yeah.
people don't like to do laundry.
Like 2 weeks once.
Every 2 weeks, yeah. Well, guess what? Great sleep starts with the right sheets, and they're more affordable than you think with Bowl and Branch. They make the most comfortable sheets you'll ever sleep on. Fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, wake up ready to kick some ass. Each sheet crafted from 100% organic cotton. Feel incredible, look amazing. And since Bowl and Branch sells exclusively online, no expensive retail markup, half the price, twice the quality. Anyone who sleeps on Bowl and Branch sheets loves them. That's why they have thousands of 5-star reviews. Go to bowlandbranch.com today. You'll get $50 off your first set of sheets plus free shipping when you use the promo code BS. It's BOLLND branch.com. Try them for 30 nights. If you're not impressed, return them for a full refund. Again, $50 plus free shipping. $50 off plus free shipping right now at BOLLandbranch.com. Okay. Man, we got to race through these.
A lot of games covered.
Let's race through the poop facto.
Okay.
I had 2 this week.
There's
I had
at least 2, yeah.
the New York Jets are at the Cleveland Browns, and the Indianapolis Colts are hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Dare I say we've never had a better poop facta combo than those two.
Yeah, it's
I don't
tough
want to
beat.
watch 1 second of either of those games. I had the Jets -3 at Cleveland, and I had the Colts -2.5 at home against the 49ers. What'd you have, Seth?
I had Jets -2.5. Somehow Cleveland is favored by 1.5.
Oh
so
my
I get
God.
that. What did you have for Indy?
Cleveland's been favored twice this year.
Yeah, you're
How is
right.
that possible?
You're right. Once
They're
on the road.
awful.
Why are we doing
They-
this to ourselves? I feel like that. Why don't we just bet against the Browns every week? It's like we're going to the buffet and passing the crab legs just to get to the mashed potatoes. Like what?
Yeah,
why are we making it hard on ourselves?
If we had just gone into the season and, well, you know why? Because they threw us off in week 1 when they covered against
guess
the
so,
Steelers.
against the Steelers.
After they did that, we should have just been like, all right, they're 1-0 against the
That's
spread.
it.
Let's go against the
They're
next
done.
9 weeks.
You're right. So the
I had
Indy
the
one,
Colts -2.5 over the Niners.
it's off the board. I had 3, but they don't know about Luck or Brissett or anything. So
I
that
continue to
one's-
kind of like this Niners team. I think they're the frisky, hang around, but lose at the end team.
Yeah.
That is fun to bet on.
I feel bad a little for Kyle Shanahan. They should be a little better than this. They lost 3 games by 8 points.
Well, yesterday they were dropping passes. They should have won that game yesterday. All right, barely watchables. I have 6 barely watchables, so we'll just go through these. Let's do 2 road favorites first.
All right.
Cincinnati hosting the Bills of Buffalo. I had the Bills -2. I might be wrong.
I had the same thing, Bill Simmons, and Cincinnati's favored by 3. Off by 5 points that game.
So the Bills are just going to be the nobody believes in us
Right. The
gambling
3
team
and
this
1
year.
Bills
I
against
believe in the
1 and
Bills.
3 Bengals.
Yeah, they hang in these games.
They're as good. They're as good as the Bengals, at least, I think.
The other one is Tennessee is at Miami. There's no way Miami can be favored in this game. Although, how long is Mariota out? Do we know?
I think this is based on him playing because there was a line on this.
So Mariota went to get his hamstring checked out yesterday, and brought a cheese plate for the doctor and gave all of the nurses and stuff candy, and just they were just in love with him. Not making that up. It's just these Mariota's a great guy stories.
I see. People like him.
You know, it'd make him great if he stayed on the field for 4 straight games.
Yeah. Stretch that hammy.
Yeah, it's a great guy though.
What'd you have for this?
Titans -3 in Miami is what I had.
That's what I had, and that's what the line is.
So could this be Matt Castle versus Jay Cutler? Is that Tate? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Could be.
It's going to be or it could be Matt Moore versus Matt Castle.
One of the Mats.
Listen, I'm already on the record with this from last year. I continue to think Matt Moore is half decent. In that
why
playoff
not?
game, he got concussed, and that was the only reason he shit the bed in that playoff game. But they were playing well up until that point.
I think this is still a 3-point. Titans are favored by 3, even if Castle. But what do you need, 3 or 10 points to beat the Dolphins? That's fine. Castle, Mariota, it doesn't matter. They should
My
be
guess would be Matt Moore is the quarterback for this game. All right, 4 home favorites for the Barely Watchables. First one, probably not a line for this. Raiders hosting the Ravens.
Yeah, no line. I didn't even guess. Both teams 2-2. Obviously, back spasms. They're positive about Carr, but they're not sure.
So the Ravens passed the injury point of no return, it seems like. Because I like them as like how the hell is this team 10-6? Their defense carrying them, but now they can't block. They lost Yonda, and
talk about a team that threw us off with the first 2 games.
but they had too many injuries.
Really bad.
I don't hold that against them.
Yeah.
Giants are home for the Chargers. This has all the makings of the Eli ramming it up your butt bet. Has all the
Really?
makings. Yeah. He's putting on the latex glove, getting the
no.
Vaseline ready for you. Yeah.
And there's a whole probably
Just
an
be so
Eli
careful.
Phillip Rivers little rivalry, right, with the draft picks and everything.
For
and
the
how it went
04,
down.
they got flipped.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chargers have to be happy to finally be on the road.
Yeah, they had some fans at their game.
It's the same experience anyway. The Giants have covered the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They covered the Eagles game. They were down 14. Come back. They lose, but they cover.
I feel like I talked you out of a couple bets. You like the Niners?
saved me yesterday.
The Thursday night. You said, let me know if Tampa gets down to 2.5.
No, I
was
like that.
I was like, it did.
I thought I liked the Rams.
But they were -3. It was the same kind of
The
thing.
Rams
They
won
by,
but didn't cover. Yeah, we've had a couple of those
Yeah,
this
it's
year.
weird.
So the Giants yesterday somehow covered Tampa. Nick Folk, just
Crazy.
incredible. I mean, obviously he's just had a bad day, but it did make you think, like, if you're ever going to fix an NFL game,
Right.
you go after the long snapper, the kicker, or like the umpire who can call. Which umpire would you go after? The line judge?
What, for an offsides? What were you saying?
I guess you'd probably want some pass interference, right?
Yeah,
Because
right.
all of those, you'd want somebody on the sidelines
Right.
who was just throwing pass interference penalties. Those would be the 3. Nick Folk yesterday single-handedly cost them the cover
Sure.
because they were better than the Giants. I mean, that game should have been over.
But also Evans going down at the 3-inch line,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was-
they don't score. They don't
yeah.
get a touchdown. Like, why isn't Winston? Why don't they have a QB sneak there? Why even screw around? But anyway.
the Eagles are home for the Cardinals.
Wait, you didn't say Giants?
Oh, I
say
had
the line.
Giants by 4.5. I put that in the Vegas zone.
Oh, I got it. I said 3.5, and it is 3.5. And I think this is it. I think McAdoo is McAdone. I'm going against you here. I think the Chargers win.
Tate like that one.
McAdoo is
He's
-200.
McAdone.
-200. First coach fired. Pagano +220. Hugh Jackson.
Well, this
10
is
to
an
1.
amazing game because you have 2 teams that just continually figure out how to screw up in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter and pull defeat out of the hands of victory. And now maybe they tie. I mean, can we bet the draw like
But
in
you would,
boxing?
this is yeah.
Can we
I
bet a
think,
tie?
yeah, we should bet a draw. But you like this game so much better than some of the other 2-2 teams playing each other, right? Like you would watch this more than
The Chargers made me feel bad about myself when I watched them.
they do.
They're just Phil Rivers yesterday. There was one point they were going to go for it on 4th and 2 or something from the 40, and they something got screwed up, and the
comes
play
off.
didn't come in, and he threw a tantrum like that my
yeah.
son throws when like the HDMI cable doesn't work on his Xbox. It was like watching a 9-year-old. The guy's got Phil Rivers has 8 kids. He
Right.
acts like a kid. Eagles hosting Arizona. Carson Wentz, a lot of pressure on him now. He was one of our captains of the week. I have the Eagles by 7. They're dying for us to put them in a tease. They're begging us.
You were closer. I had 5 at 6.5, and they don't need to beg you. You love the Eagles. You hate.
No,
the
I don't love
Cardinals.
the Eagles.
You
I
hate
will
the
not-
Cardinals.
I will not put Doug Peterson in a tease.
I think
I will not.
See,
I will not
Lombardi
do
is
it.
brainwashed.
I don't trust Doug
Maybe the
Peterson.
Eagles are good.
I think that team's poorly coached. They should have won that game yesterday by 15 points.
Right.
I think the Cardinals are bad.
Yeah.
Like they're just a bad football team. I can't even believe they won that game yesterday.
I mean, the best player's gone. It's tough.
Yeah. You lose your best do-it-all running back guy who your whole team's built around. It's going to be a problem. And your quarterback's too old. Last game for the Barely Watchables, Pittsburgh at home against Jacksonville, who bortled Cousin Sal this week. You got bortled by them.
Well, but also, like, let's hand it to the Jags defense. You have one play you have to guard against all game. It's the off tackle right, and it's Bell Powell. And just make sure he's tackled when he's tackled.
Yeah.
He got up and run 75 yards. That was a killer.
So I
you
had
have?
Steelers 7.5.
You get this. I had 7. It's up to 9.
I'm not teasing them. I don't trust the Steelers.
Yeah, 9. You have to do a little. You have to be a little creative with that.
2 watchables. These are pretty watchable. Pretty watchable, these combo. Detroit is hosting the rejuvenated Panthers of Carolina. I have Detroit by 4. It might be low.
Let me find this. No, yeah, it's high. I said 3. It's exactly 3.
People
Vegas
don't
likes
believe in the
Panthers.
Lions.
Well, I think they like the Panthers too.
Tate, how do you feel about that?
For whatever reason, the Panthers have been better on the road this year. So, but I don't know. They're not a dome team. I like Stafford. I feel like the Lions will get a win.
I think the Panthers, thanks to the New England Patriots' putrid defense, threw everyone off the scent a little bit this week. I don't think they're nearly as potent as they looked in that game.
I'm going opposite here. Tate 3-1 to win the division. Panthers.
You've liked Carolina from the
I
get-go.
do. I thought they were a 10-win team.
Well,
But
we said as long as Kuechly's playing, we like
Right.
them. The moment he goes out, it's like a Sean Lee situation.
do you like
just
Atlanta?
abort.
Do you like Atlanta that much more than Carolina? Carolina's
No.
3-1. 3-1.
I think Atlanta's. It's starting to look like the season from hell for them.
Right.
Like Matty Ice has what 7 picks now, and like 4 of them were deflected or tipped, and it just
Right,
seems
yeah.
like one of those seasons
Not the
looming.
year, maybe.
Vic Beasley got hurt already. The other watchable game, the LA Rams. I'm gonna say it, Sal. This is the biggest football game in Los Angeles for professional. I'm gonna say since like 1991.
You're gonna beat me on this, I think.
I have the Seahawks favored by 2.5.
Oh, okay. You're gonna love this. I had Seahawks by 3. It's Rams by 2.5.
Whoa, Rams! Oh, what a day! The millennial Sean McVay
You
continues.
should go to this game. You need to go to this game.
I'm genuinely into the Rams.
Go to the game.
If my son wore a Rams jersey, I wouldn't be upset.
Wow.
I like the Rams. I like Gurley. I
All
like
right.
Sammy Watkins. He's on my fantasy team. I enjoy Jared Goff. I like the millennial Sean McVay.
It's
I like
not
Aaron
making
Donald.
sense to me, though.
It's a fun team.
I thought their defense would be a lot better. I thought
I
the
think
whole
it's
Wade
gonna be
Phillips
better.
thing. You do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think as Phillips lays
All
in,
right.
I got to say, I love the Rams.
I know. You don't have to say it.
No, I mean in this game.
Oh, I see.
I love the Rams.
All right.
I think if it's less than 3, take the Rams. I think they're better.
Hmm.
The Seahawks will get to where they need to go. It's just not going to happen yet.
Could they win the division if they're 2 back?
I
This
think the
early?
Rams can win the division.
The Rams will win it. Okay, if they win this
Listen,
game.
this happens every single year. There's a team that we just can't believe it that they're going to finish 11-5 or
What
12
was
and 4.
last
This
year?
always happens.
Who was it? The Lions last year?
Who was? Yeah, it was the
But they
Lions,
weren't that.
and then
they were only ended up
it
being a
was,
wild card team. No, I think the division's like.
Oh, it was the Raiders last year.
Yeah, Raiders.
Remember, people
Well, but
were
they
like,
were a
"No,
wild
the Raiders
card.
can't." No, but people were like, "Ah, the Raiders aren't going to make the playoffs. They're the Raiders." And then all of a sudden, they're
Right.
like
All right.
8-1.
I mean,
Okay.
even the Falcons last year, after the Panthers
I
got
guess
that
so.
Super Bowl,
Panthers
everyone
were
thought the
15-1
Panthers
2
were
years
the-
ago.
yeah.
You look at the Rams, and they've had a million first-round picks. Now they screwed up a lot of them, but
Right.
at some point, you're going to start adding good players. Oh,
Sunday night, right?
we got to talk about Gillette.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I'd like to apologize to Patriots Nation because ever since I started doing these Gillette ads, we've completely lost our home field advantage. So I blame myself.
me to
I don't
read
think
them?
it's Gillette's fault. But the tip of a Gillette razor blade measured on an atomic scale, their blade edges are thinner than a single brain cell. It's the work of many brain cells, hundreds of members of Gillette's research and development team that have spent over 4,700 years combined working to make your shave closer, more comfortable. I wish they had spent more time on our defense
They had nothing to do
in
with it.
the Pats front seven.
couldn't help.
1,000 craftsmen and women in Boston busy making Our blades and another team putting our blades through more than 60 extremely strict and precise quality checks fail one of those tests, and it doesn't leave the factory. I wish the Patriots defense, I wish they didn't leave the factory. I wish they had kept working on it. The hardworking people at Gillette never stop working to make your blades better. That includes the price tag. You can get Gillette blades at their lowest prices in years. See for yourself at GilletteOnDemand.com. Sal, is Gillette the best a man can get?
It's absolutely the best that man can get.
That's how I feel too. Pricing applies to select products and is at the sole discretion of the retailer. All right.
I don't even know if a woman could do better than Gillette.
No.
No.
My wife she'll shave her legs with Gillette. She doesn't care.
Good. See, he means
She'll
it.
grab my leg. She'll grab. This is actually what, does your wife do this?
Grab your razor by accident?
Yeah, but then they kind of mess it up.
Of course they do.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
It's the worst. Sunday night is a great game. I'm genuinely looking forward to this game. Houston hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. I have the Chiefs favored by 2.5.
I'm proud of myself for getting this right. It's 1.5 right now.
So if they blow out Washington tonight, I think that line moves to 3.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We always talk about the short week and everything. I think like RJ Bell, someone listed the stat. Like, I don't know, Monday, you play Monday, then you have to go on the road. Like, I think like the team playing on the short week is 572 and 571 against the spread.
It makes
It makes it's factored into the line.
Can I make one prediction for this game?
Go ahead.
I'm going to parlay it with the Texans. Chris Collinsworth, Deshaun Watson will make some play in like the second quarter. Be like, this guy's not a rookie. You can't tell me this guy is a rookie. He is
like
not a rookie. He'll do that whole thing. I'm excited for it. I like Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Monday night, the Bears of Chicago are hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I'm changing my guess for this because since I made these picks, Dalvin Cook is now out for the year. So
what'd you think?
I had Vikings by 2.5. I'm gonna cut a half point. I'm gonna say Vikings by 2 in Chicago.
You just screwed yourself.
I did?
Yeah. Vikings, I said by 3.5, it's 3.
Really?
We would have split that one. Let me see if it matters. Didn't matter.
Vikings
I beat you up this week.
You beat me this week?
Like 9-6 or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Who is the Vikings starting running back this week?
What is it? McKinnon? What are they doing? Like it's both. It's McKinnon and why can't I think of this? Tate. Who's the Vikings?
Was Murray, right? Latavius?
Oh yeah, Latavius. Yeah, who they wouldn't put in the game.
But McKinnon will probably play more.
Yeah.
We still don't have a sponsor for Parent Corner. But it has become America's favorite segment. If anyone who wants to sponsor Parent Corner, just make us an offer. We'll do week-to-week sponsors.
Right.
America loves it.
They do.
Do you want to go first?
I guess it seems petty right now. It seems like champagne problems, but my 4-year-old has this iPad. It's been handed down. I know it's already gross, but
Hand me down iPad.
yeah. So he gets mad at this one baseball game. He doesn't realize he's not a smart kid. He doesn't realize when he's at bat or when he's pitching in this baseball app. So when he's pitching and his opponent swings and misses, he freaks out because he thinks he's swinging and missing. So he throws the iPad as a tantrum. It's everything I deserve. It's
Sounds like Phil
Rivers-esque.
Yeah.
It really is. So now this thing is splintered, and these things, the glass, it breaks.
Right.
So we've replaced this twice, and it's not cheap to replace the glass on an iPad. It's like $140 if they do it right. A lot of times they don't. You have to take it back. Now
It's kind of a racket, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's like it's always like a shady guy at a mall who's like, yeah, $130 cash.
Yeah, it's a new termite
fix it.
tenting
Yeah, really.
for kids.
Termite
It really
tenting.
is. That's it. Like, yeah, you have termites. That's it. But anyway, so this is splintered up, and now it's got I need advice in this week's Parent Corner. How bad does it have to get before I now replace it? Because again, now it's broken and splintered. We have like Band-Aids on the iPad. It's crazy. And like one day, like we thought he had ketchup on his fingers.
Band-Aids.
We thought he had ketchup on his. So it's like, I was like, Melissa, wipe his hands after. He's like, no, that's blood. He's bleeding because he's swiping on the splintered up iPad. So I need help as to when we need to replace this. Or just throw
my
it out.
advice would have been you don't get to use the iPad if you're going to throw it.
Yeah, we tried that a little.
Didn't
but
work?
It's such a great babysitter. You can't totally do away with it.
That's pretty good. All right. Send us advice at themailbag@theringer.com.
Or Band-Aids.
Yeah, more Band-Aids. Less advice.
Parent Corner for me this week. Saturday night, we go out to dinner, come back, we're going to rent a movie as a fam, watch a movie. Mm-hmm. My kids love horror movies. Mm-hmm. So Leatherface was available on DirecTV.
Nice.
which is the prequel of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the modern version of the prequel. So I'm like, oh, Leatherface. And Ben, my son, is all fired up for Leatherface because he loves horror movies. And it's rated R.
It's a solid R. Yeah.
Solid R. So I'm about to go on the internet to see, like, to make sure there's not sex in it or, like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Ben, my liar son, who's, as we covered last week, he's just a flat out liar. He just will lie right to your face. Ben goes, no, I went on the website. It's fine. There's no sex in it.
Awesome.
I checked. And normally I could tell when he's lying, but he really didn't seem like he
Took
was
his word
lying.
for
So I'm
it.
like, all right, cool. I'm excited for this movie. I'm glad we can all watch it as a family. It starts out with somebody gets hammered in the side. Their whole head explodes, right? It's bad side there. But it goes like about a half hour in, and there's a sex scene where all the inmates are escaping this asylum, and this girl gets excited with her crazy lover that she's with and goes down on him.
Oh, no.
In the thing. So we're like covering their eyes. And my wife's like, this is crazy. We got to stop watching stuff. No, it's fine. It was 1 second.
It's not sex.
10 minutes later, there's like these two people just start going at it. All of a sudden, it's like, I mean, it's like kind of graphic writing. We're like, cover your eyes, We're doing that whole thing. I can't find the pause button because we had let the thing, and it's like there's like doggy style.
Oh, no.
Ben's pretending he's covering eyes, but he's not. And we were just so mad. My wife's mad at me. I'm mad at Ben.
Right.
My daughter's like, why do you trust him? He lies. That's what he does. Like, he's just a liar. My son's a liar.
I love it. Were you watching with the teacher from 2 weeks ago? That's the only way I would have made it better. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah. Or was
Yeah.
it waiting for Nick to be in the sex scene? The PE teacher would have been the only way it would have been better. Yeah. So the moral of the story is don't watch Leatherface with your
Leatherface,
kids
yeah.
anyway, but definitely don't watch it if you think there's not going to be sex in it, because there is.
Right.
And my
and
son's
Ben's
a
a
liar.
liar.
He's,
Yeah.
he's a flat out liar. He lies.
I love it.
So,
well,
if-
I have a broken iPad for him if you want. Maybe that'll even things out.
Any of these games jumping out at you for this week potentially?
No. Not a lot of them. I don't know. I do think Green Bay is going to score on Dallas, though. I do.
It feels like an underdog week.
Yeah.
Is my
underdogs
early
are-
takeaway.
Oh, I did have this 35, 25, and 1 underdog. So that's like 9 and 6 every week. Might as well just.
We
in your-
know that-
in your pool, just circle all the underdogs.
We've said for 10 years, I think, on this podcast, if you just take the home favorites every week and just automatic, you'll be about 500 every year.
Home favorites.
I'm sorry, the home underdogs.
Underdogs, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Home underdogs, it ends up being like they go 30 and 21 or
Yeah.
32 and 23. You're always going to be like 8-9 games over 500. What do you have to plug this weekend?
Oh, we have against all odds. Like I said, the degenerate trifecta is pretty hot. Harry plus 180. Brother Brian had a 17 parlay that cashed. Listen for that Wednesday night. And O.J. Simpson will be our guest. Oh, no, we're not going to do that, no. Jimmy Kimmel Live, Anthony Anderson, Alex Rodriguez, one of your favorites.
Oh.
And music from Savage tonight. And that's that.
I have a couple things to plug.
Go ahead.
House and I are going to do NBA over-unders, which we do every year on this podcast. And then I'm doing the MLB show that we have, the Ringer MLB show, on Wednesday morning after the Yankee wildcard game. Jacko and I are going to have a special edition.
Oh, good.
Either a postmortem for the Yankee season. What's the line on that?
Yankees minus 240. That's
Yeah, see-
hefty for one game.
And by the way,
Irvin
all their
Santana.
fans are already trying to figure
Oh,
out the
yeah.
Indians matchup.
Yeah.
It has all the makings.
Always works.
And by the way, Irvin Santana is a good pitcher.
Sure.
Like I would not be like, oh, we're gonna roll over Irvin Santana. That guy will keep them in the game. And there's good guys in the Twins, and I would be a little more nervous if I was a Yankee fan. So either way, Jacko and I are going to be on the Ringer MLB show, and then Mallory Rubin and I are gonna talk about playoff odds for that.
Nice.
Don't forget about my column on the Ringer on Fridays, something NFL related. Thanks to Bluehost, whether you're a blogger or a small business owner, Bluehost is everything you need to build, host, and manage the website you've always wanted. Simple enough for beginners, powerful enough for even the most advanced users. Design your website your way. No wonder it's been the top recommended WordPress host on WordPress.org since 2005. And now our listeners save 50% when you sign up at bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. Thanks to Gillette. Did you know a Gillette razor blade edge thinner than a single brain cell? Did you know Gillette Stadium hosts a team that doesn't have a defense anymore? That's the product of many brain cells at work from the thousands of men and women at Gillette. They're always working hard to make your shave better. Now you can get Gillette blades for less at GilletteOnDemand.com. Thanks to Captain Morgan, our friends. Don't forget to be the captain out there. Thanks to SeatGeek. Don't forget BSNFL, 20% off first-time football purchases. So can you tape tomorrow?
We'll figure
it out.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna
go
do
ahead.
the Eastern Which conference do you want on Against All Odds?
No, why don't you guys do over-unders and we'll do everything else. Rookie of the year and
Props.
And, props, yeah.
That's
How
what you
about
want to do?
Yeah, let's don't make it like I'm screwing you now. What do you mean?
So you want to do rookie?
There's
You wanna
plenty.
do conference?
We could do divisions, we can do conferences, we could do rookie of the year. You guys do over-under wins.
That's a good idea.
Okay,
So
thank
we'll
you.
go faster with the over-unders.
Great.
Maybe
Yeah.
jam that into one podcast.
Yeah.
And then do all the props.
Yeah.
The Rookie of the Year is like almost its own podcast.
But you're not even allowed to touch that, right? Or you can't bet
I'm allowed
it. You
to
can,
discuss it.
analyze
I just
Okay.
can't.
Yeah.
Tate, this is the most exciting Rookie of the Year betting class I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But for
It's
football and
unbelievable.
basketball,
Lonzo's almost, I think he's favored.
Yeah, I think he's plus 250. And
I
then,
mean, but like he's like a
Yeah, I
pretty
think-
heavy favorite for Rookie of the Year, and I have some thoughts on that.
All right.
All right. So Against All Odds,
Can I
going on
just
this
say,
week.
this is what a loser I am. I got a text from an unidentified number. It says, "We have information which will affect the outcome of Washington and Kansas City. Don't touch this game until you hear what we have to say. Reply yes. We'll text it free."
That
I'm
came
on
to your
this dummy
phone?
list for 30 years.
Oh my God.
And now I'm getting texts from people who are threatening me for considering the game.
Our cousin was on Curb Your Enthusiasm last night.
Great, right? What a
Yeah, it
great
was a good
start
one.
to the season. Yeah.
The funny thing is, he is a foister.
yeah, yeah.
He's a legendary foister. I was
love
dying because I was like, did someone in Jimmy's life suggest this plot line?
Yeah.
Or did Larry David independently just supernaturally know Jimmy was the perfect guy for this?
I think HBO said that he foisted you on them, and that's how this whole thing started.
There's no way to prove that wrong. Yeah, no, it's, if Jimmy's recommended somebody, I was like, the foister himself. No, it was a great episode, and great to have that show back.
Good time.
That show's been gone for so long that they were showing the last season,
Yeah.
and I had totally forgotten, like Michael J. Fox, like that whole season
Oh,
finale.
yeah,
I was
right,
like,
right.
it felt like it was 70 years ago.
Right.
Great to have that back. Cuz, good job by you.
Good job by you.
We'll be back later in the week of the BS Pod.